Welcome back to the Halloween Tea Party, guys. Today we're going to be Diablo from Suicide Squad, not actual Diablo. If I wasn't doing this look as a tutorial, I would probably use a flesh-colored liner to map out all of the tattoos because it's going to be much more forgiving. If you make mistakes, it's going to be much easier to just kind of smudge them away. But seeing as you guys probably want to see what I'm actually doing, I'm going to use a black liner. At least with a black liner, it's still going to blend in with the colour that I'm using for the actual tattoos. If you don't have a liner in the right colour, then you could use an eyeshadow or something. Just basically something that you're going to be able to map out with, and any mistakes you'll really easily just be able to get rid of them. I think the hardest part of this look is the Diablo that's written across the jaw. So I'm starting out by just mapping out the contour lines to the side that are coming from the tops of the ears. And that's going to give you a really nice reference on where the letters need to start and finish. It would probably also help to map out the space for each letter before you start filling it in so that you know that everything is going to fit and is going to be in kind of an even sized box. But I didn't do that. I just went straight in and started writing all the letters. And of course, don't forget that if you're doing this in a mirror, then you need to do it in reverse, just to make things extra tricky. Once all of the letters are mapped out, I'm going in with an angled brush and some gel liner and filling them all in. The biggest issue I had while doing this is the angled brush is not always small enough to get the really fine details in there. And all of the detail brushes I had were too soft to work with the gel liner because gel liner is, quite thick. So if you have a stiff detail brush, that's probably going to make it a lot easier for you to do this. If not, I found that really kind of saturating your angled brush in the gel liner makes it go super stiff, and then you can use the point of it to draw all those really fine details. Once all of the letters are filled in, I'm taking a light face powder that matches my face and I'm really heavily powdering over all of the letters. For those contour lines on the cheeks, I'm drawing along the line with the gel liner and then just dragging the liner down so it's almost like shading. Or, not almost like shading, like actual shading. And you want to work quite quickly doing this so that the liner that you've put down doesn't set before you've smudged it out, or just work in smaller sections. And then of course coat it liberally with powder. The temples are really similar to the cheek contours, so I am drawing those on with the liner and then dragging the liner towards my hairline to create that shading. The nose also has that shading effect, so outline it with your gel liner and then just drag that liner inwards again. And you can always add more liner to your brush if you don't have enough to really get a nice shade in there. The eyes are just solid black, so I am outlining them and I'm just following the reference picture to see the shape of them and filling them in with black. Even though we're going to be setting all of this with face powder, I find that when you use gel liner on your eyes like this, it tends to rub and crease quite badly, especially in your crease area. So I'm setting it with some black eyeshadow. This is also going to help matte it down a bit. And using the black eyeshadow is just going to help keep things nice and even across my lids. Then I'm adding all the other little tattoos, the 7 score above the eyebrow, and the snowflake star thing on the cheek. The sigh on the forehead is also a bit tricky, mainly because I have a bit of an oily T-zone. So it's a bit slippy to draw up there sometimes. Because it's quite a small little drawing with lots of little lines close together, I decided it would just be a bit tricky to do that with the angled brush and the gel liner. So I'm using a felt tip liner to do that. Then I'm going back to the gel liner and adding all of the teeth in. And then I'm adding all of those little contour shady bits coming off of all of the teeth. And then it's time for the final powder, and I'm using a loose powder for this and going absolutely crazy. This is probably more powder than I have ever put on my face in my life. Just put absolutely tons of powder on, let it sit for a minute or two, and then brush it all off. Tattoo baking. And obviously don't be too aggressive when you're brushing it off, because you don't want to brush off all of the makeup that you have just put on. For the final touch, I'm just adding a bit of black liner to my waterline. And that is it, guys. You are now Diablo. I hope you like this video and this look. It's super close to Halloween now, so I hope you're all really excited. I hope you'll have an amazing Halloween, and I will see you in the next video.